Hello and thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Big shout out as always to all the viewers, big shout out to the patrons, and thank you so much again to my lovely editor. You are amazing, as always. And if you could, please give a like, share, and subscribe because YouTube hates creators, and in all honesty, YouTube needs to do better, but that's not what this video is about. I actually want to talk about a self-published book that I recently just got done reading, and I really just want to gush about it. The book is called Gentlemen's Club by N.T. Hergott, and you can actually go find them on the channel of James Somerton if you ever want to hear them, see them, and everything else. The book is about, well, despite what the title is, it's actually about superheroes. And the book actually is written by a person of the LGBTQ plus community, and the book itself follows people in that community and having to deal with all of the aggravation that comes from living in a society where heroes are actually a mainstream thing and it can technically be a job. And I'm gonna let you know right now, this book, while I was reading it, because I had to read it more than once, actually does tackle some social political issues in a very tasteful way. But that's not really what the book is mainly about. It's actually just about the main character and his personal struggles, and also superhero stuff is just sprinkled into this. It's actually really well done and really amazing, and I would implore you guys to please go check it out because despite it being a self-published book, it does actually have wonderful humor in it. It has wonderful talking points that are not just shoved randomly at you. It reads very naturally and very respectfully. And the reason why I'm bringing up the Gentlemen's Club is because I realized something as somebody who's also trying to get their own book up off the ground. People that want to do self-publishing have less constraints than people who want to do traditional publishing. And I mean that to say traditional publishing is a gamble. As in, you have to basically go in for a job interview and explain why you should be picked to have your book taken seriously. And I'm gonna let you know right now, oh man, I guess that's good, but also it's just so boring. And I don't mean that to say it's boring for no reason. I mean that to say as in, I feel like what happened with Twilight, right? Twilight was a thing, it happened, and then there were a million different, dollar discount versions of Twilight, of regular girl who doesn't know she's pretty, but she's actually drop dead gorgeous, somehow makes a supernatural entity fall in love with her, and also all this other melodrama happens between her, her friends, and the other supernatural entities. And there were hundreds of those. I'm being serious. There were a lot of copy pastes of them. I'm not saying that the authors that wrote those didn't have their own ideas, but I felt like it's a thing with traditional publishing. They get into this idea of this is what the public really wants because this one particular book did really, really well. But I feel like they also missed the point of why that one thing did really, really well. It's something people hadn't seen before or hadn't seen in a long time, and the new generation wanted their version of it. Suddenly flooding the market with all of it is just, well, in all honesty, lazy and boring and absolutely dull. Now, I'll say this, right? Superheroes are not new. Between Disney, DC, Marvel, DC, and also Disney with all of their weird stuff that's going on with them, it's not like we are starved for superhero content. But what we are starved on content for is, media that looks you dead in the face and goes, if you're here, you must be at least old enough to hold this kind of a conversation respectfully with another person. If not, it's not for you. You can go anytime you want, but this is what the topic of the day is, and we're gonna talk about it. Also, because I low-key just stalk my favorite people on their socials, supposedly there's gonna be a book 2 from N.T. Hergott, and I cannot wait for that to be a thing. Like, I really need a book 2 if that's what's happening, because, oh man, there's so much that's left unsaid, and I really hope that it's just as fun as the first one. It probably will be. It probably will be. Anyway, James Somerton too, and NT Hergot, because both of them work on the scripts and editing for the videos of that channel, make it a point to bring up social political issues specifically pertaining to the LGBTQ plus community, because they're in that community. And before you say something of like, aren't you straight? No, not really. If you must know, you nosy people, I am an asexual. My editor, Wright, is a bisexual. Yes, that is correct. It's two not traditionally straight people just doing stuff. But didn't you say that your editor was married? That doesn't discount what they are. And please stop saying that when bi people suddenly marry the opposite gender. Like, it's a lot more than that. It really is. You guys are just being superficial for the sake of being superficial. And I'm being serious on that. The reason why I really like James Somerton stuff is because James Somerton tends to have a lot of data and facts that is brought up in his videos, and the fact that this author, NT Hergot, also is a person that's doing the editing, the script writing, and all of this other stuff means it's a tag team duo of two people really digging down deep into these issues to present them to you. So the book itself, right, Gentleman's Club, also does this of being the thing, right? Being the thing of, we're talking about this because it needs to be talked about. And if you're not part of this community, is it gonna kill you to listen to it? No. No, it's not. And if you don't want to hear about it, there is the door, friends. Please grab a pamphlet on the way out. It's not that serious. And the fact that people keep always trying to make this a serious thing, guys, please, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of constantly fighting and complaining about things that people in groups that are not yours are doing? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Sometimes when I hear people having all of this argumentative stuff, you know what? As somebody who's not a part of that group, I hope your protest goes good, and I hope people listen to what you're saying and that the protest doesn't devolve into mind-numbing violence. But at the same time, it's not my fight. My fight is to sit there and listen and understand what's being said. That's my part in this. Understanding. And maybe being able to look at people and go, you know, maybe you getting mad about this actually isn't that big of a deal. Maybe you're just being a weirdo and contrarian for contrarian's sake. It's a lot of words, Hella. Aren't you contrarian for contrarian's sake? I try really hard actually not to be. Because despite what a lot of people have told me, I try to just make my videos as I have viewed all of the viewpoints, I have listened to all of the things, and I'm gonna let you know right now, it's not that serious. And here's why. Like, if I'm gonna defend something, I'm gonna defend it. I'm gonna explain why it is a thing that needs to be defended. On the other hand, when people are like, you can't oppose this, it's true love, it's this, it's that. No, it's not. It really isn't, and you guys are super weird when you try to make it that. Seriously, you are. So the point of this video is, hey, go check out NT Hergot and their book, The Gentleman's Club, because it's actually really good and it's gay superheroes. That's it. That's the entire video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you so much for stopping by. Bye!